Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of Nanatsu no Taizai, or you call it the 7 Deadly Sins, on chapter 234. This chapter was pretty cool and very scary at the same time, because whatever's bound to happen in the future chapters now is really gonna cause some major mischief later in the future. And I would like to talk about a couple things later after I do the recap. So if anything else, let's go. We have to it that Arthur picks up the little vampire dude that Merlin was associated with, and they almost got caught by the demon, but because of Arthur's quick, speedy movements and possibly magic in any cases, he actually managed to evade him. And they all end up going to an underground cavern, which the vampire is trying to wonder what the heck is going on. And Arthur shows him the way, and he has his people behind his back, or in front of him. And it was actually pretty cool, and it was actually fun to see Arthur okay, thank goodness or something, because I know sometimes it's scary to see him gone for a while. But of course, this guy is the little vampire dude is Orlandi, which is the royal vampire born from the mother of chaos. And I think the cat, I'll call him the cat ball, ends up insulting him by saying, "You talk pretty big for an eyeball." He goes like, "What'd you say, you damn mangy cat?" He goes like, "Oh, you want to talk like a big shot?" And they end up having a little small fight. And of course, everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, even though they are at a very ugly, bad disadvantage right now because of what's been going on. But apparently they go like, "With you at our side, we'll be fine." But there's one problem though. People who are brainwashed by the demons, their souls are being sacrificed to break the goddess seal for possibly the Demon King, which is pretty scary possibly. And of course, everyone seems to go like, "Hey, we're fine. As long as you're around, King Arthur, we'll be okay." Although Orlandi Vampire Lord ends up being doubtful because he's just a little brat, and he's all like, you really have faith in this kid? And the cat gets really mad and jumps on him and says, "Hey, you want to laugh right now?" They end up having a little small fight later on, but it was pretty funny. But aside from that, there's one kind of problem. The guy who's working with Arthur, which I forgot anyway, we have to it that he warns Arthur that the seal gets very weak by day. In the past few months, he's grown greatly, etc. And of course, that's thanks to the teachings of Nanashi. Of course, that's the samurai guy. Of course, when it comes to the demons, they are getting really slaughtered right now, apparently, because maybe of Arthur's strength and power. But it's time to carry out the plan, which Arthur said so. Although Orlandi tries to warn Arthur, "Are you serious? You are going to march into Camelot like that? You do understand you're going to throw away your lives for nothing, right?" Although Arthur tells Lord Orlandi, the vampire eyeball, says, "I'll be okay. I'll take Camelot back on my own." He goes like, "You really are stupid, right? You do understand the castle's crawling with demons, and there's Zeldris of the Ten Commandments, and he's the most deadliest, powerful demons of them all. And Arthur says, if we claim that thing, we should be able to manage," which is to my concern, honestly, but it is possible. And of course, he asks, "What is that thing?" And Arthur says, "Holy Sword Excalibur." I'm like, holy snapperoo. How can I forget about that? Because Arthur is from the Arthur Legends, and he is in Taizai. And we all know what Excalibur is, but I'll get to that just a moment and talk about it later. But aside from that, continuing where I left off, Zeldris ends up trying to pull Excalibur out of the floor, but apparently he knows that it's impossible for him to pull it out because this thing chooses the person who gives it great power, and it's different from the demon's magic. And Zeldris was being informed by a great demon that more demons gotten killed and 100 of them. Zeldris gets really angry and says, "Leave me alone. You're freaking useless." Of course, Zeldris is really annoyed right now because he goes like, day after day, the god of death swoops in and killing our men. We don't even know who the hell he is. I'll have to figure out who the heck this is, and I'll make him regret it. Zeldris swears it. Of course, he gets a message from a portal and tells him, "Zeldris, my son," which is the Demon King, because Zeldris is the son of the Demon King. although like Zeldris swears that he will get the one for this embarrassment, but he said he doesn't care about that. He has some good news to him, and Zeldris is like, "What are you talking about? The Demon King is about to awake." And of course, Zeldris is like, "Hold up, but you're awakening right now? But there's still time left before the seal is broken." However, the Demon King says, "It's not me who's gonna be taking the mantle. It's the one who's supposed to take up my mantle originally." He goes like, "Are you serious? You're saying that traitor?" Which he refers to Meliodas, obviously. But the Demon King reprimands Zeldris by saying, "Don't call him a traitor. He is your own brother, and we shall welcome him as the new king." And Zeldris is like, "No, but..." And Zeldris was doubtful about this because of Meliodas, and he's a traitor, and Zeldris does have some grudge against him. But he is given orders by his father and the Demon King at the same time. "I'm going to give you this order. Rescue Meliodas and bring him here." And it shows Meliodas about to wake up and Elizabeth hugging him. Okay, a couple things I want to talk about, okay? And that, of course, is Holy Sword Excalibur. Of course, like on that sword, we all know in many fictional stories that Excalibur is known to be the main sword and the main powerful weapon of King Arthur alone. We all know that. But at the same time, I'm wondering to myself, if Holy Sword Excalibur is drawn by King Arthur himself, can he really handle Zeldris, which is the Demon King's representative and one of the strongest demons there is, to handle him? Of course, I'm very doubtful at first because Zeldris is the Demon King's representative, and we all know how strong Zeldris is. We've seen his power multiple times in this series many chapters ago, especially back in the Holy War before he was sealed, etc. We all know how strong he is, but we all know Arthur is also strong because Holy Sword Excalibur, we all know that sword is is a damn legend. We all know that. Anyone who knows about Excalibur in multiple anime fictional stories or manga fictional stories will understand that that name Excalibur and Arthur is always mentioned like throughout multiple series. We all know how strong Excalibur is, but it makes me doubtful to think like, is Zeldris really gonna have trouble like taking on Excalibur, Holy Sword Excalibur when Arthur claims it? Although we don't really know, we'll have to find out later. We have to it that also, of course, is like the Demon King, who wants Meliodas to take over the throne of his, is about to welcome him once more. And this entire time, the voice of that thing that says "ha ha ha" just a little bit more, that voice was actually the Demon King alone. Like if we go back at least 2 chapters ago, if I remember it correctly, 2 chapters ago, we all know, 2 chapters ago at least, if I remember correctly, we all know that there was a voice that says "ha ha," that's it, just a little more. That voice was actually the Demon King alone, which is to my shock, but I never thought his voice would be actually reaching all of Britannia or Camelot, etc. But aside from that, when the Demon King orders his son Zeldris to go rescue Meliodas or kidnap him, etc., to bring him to the throne because he's coming back to his original self, it's really scary because how many days has passed already? Because we all know Elizabeth is going to die in 3 days, unless there's some kind of shonen kind of thing that we all know what could happen. Who knows what would happen, unless Nakaba Sensei is really serious about killing Elizabeth after 3 days. That will suck because all hope and darkness will literally consume the entire of Britannia and the entire world, obviously. But aside from that, there's only, like I said, how many days has passed and Meliodas is about to wake up in the arms of Elizabeth. It's like this. Elizabeth either dies by the regressed Meliodas, the most vile and evil demon and strongest demon in existence, second to the Demon King, obviously. Or 2, Zeldris comes in, rescues Meliodas, and kills Elizabeth, and somehow gets rid of the perfect cube. But apparently, the only person who knows I get rid of the perfect cube is Merlin alone. And we already know how strong and broken she is when it comes to infinite C or infinite power. So yeah, whatever's really about to happen next, it's about to get really tense because Holy Sword Excalibur and Zeldris about to go rescue Meliodas to become the next Demon King. Holy crud, dude. It's only going to get scary from here on out. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.